Hi, I'm Arjun Partha and I'd like to welcome you to Unraveling Science. Today I'm going to show you how to make your very own paper tumbling toy. For this science experiment, you're going to need some glue, a cutter, 75 GSM or thicker paper, and a marble. The larger the weight, the better. It's just as simple as that. Now we are going to cut out the template for our tumbling toy, which I have given a link in the description too. Now we are going to fold our tumbling toy template. To do this, we're going to take it and fold along this line like this. Turn it around, fold along that line like that. Then we're going to fold around this long flap here like this. Then approximately 1 inch away from the edge, I have made this line here. This is the flap that's going to go into this part of the model. So to do that, we're just gonna press on the line we made like this. Now for the two long flaps coming out like this, you're going to need a cylindrical tool like this so that you can shape it. So just take it on one end and start rolling it like that. Just slowly do it, you don't have to do it fast. The important thing is to just make sure that it's been curled well like that. Then you can unfold it a bit like this, and since I'm using cardstock, which is a pretty thick paper, it's very easy to mold and shape the paper. Now we're going to do the same for the other side, and if you're using an X-Acto knife like me, be very careful because it has a sharp edge, so don't cut yourself while trying to fold this. So just do it very slowly like that. You don't have to go all the way down, just get it to where you think you're comfortable, then slide this out and keep it aside. Then you have to unroll this part and then just keep pressing it down like this. Then you can roughly visualize how it's going to go. You're going to put this flap, stick it here, then tuck these two under using our glue. Then we just unfold it a little bit so that it can rest for a while before we firmly glue it together. Now we're going to begin our gluing process. To do this, we're just going to take our glue and glue along this flap here like this. Remember not to put too much, you can just spread it out later because it's a thin flap, it doesn't need too much glue. So just spread it out like that. That way you can save glue and get an even application on this. Then you can keep your glue aside for now. Just make this tab touch this end. So just make it come there like that. Make sure the alignment is also correct, because if you don't align it properly, then the tumbling toy won't work as well as it needs to. So just let it dry for a bit like that. After that part is dried, you're going to have to take your glue again, and this time glue this part right here. That is the edge of one part of the curl that you're going to tuck into this part here. Take your glue, just like last time, don't apply too much, just take a little and spread it nicely, just like that. Then you can keep your glue aside and tuck this in to the rectangular space given. Then put your hands inside the box and adjust the way in which you want it to go. Do you want it protruding more towards the outside or the inside? Questions like that. Then you can firmly fix in place using 2 or more fingers and your thumb, and then just leave this part to dry, because now this is going to be a very important step. The step where you're going to make the weight of the tumbling toy and make it work. Remember, don't glue the second flap into the main body of the tumbling toy yet, because we still have one major step before we do that. Now we're going to insert our weight into the tumbling toy. To do this, just take it and slide it into the body. Then we are going to take our glue and just glue along this flap. Remember, you don't have to apply too much, just a little, and then just keep smearing it across the edge, just like that. Then we're going to keep our glue aside, and then we have to slide this part in to the main body of our tumbling toy. So just take it, make sure that nothing is interfering the way it goes in, like make sure this part doesn't stick out here or stick out here. Then when you're sure that you place it correctly and it's aligned well, you can just start rubbing your finger along this line. This way any excess glue will come on your thumb and you can just apply it along this line to reinforce the bonding and patching. And then we are going to let it dry. And now we are going to test our tumbling toy. To do this, we are going to take our tumbling toy here and release it off an inclined plane like this in 3, 2 and 1. Now, if your tumbling toy only skids off the inclined plane and does not rotate or tumble, the problem might be with the weight inside the tumbling toy, and there is a possibility that it has got jammed in one of these circular ends. So always give it a good shake before releasing it from an inclined plane. Now, if you're sure that the weight isn't stuck and the tumbling toy still just skids off the inclined plane or remains motionless, then the problem might be with the angle of the inclined plane. So just increase the angle by a few degrees and check again. Now, gravity is pulling on the marble inside of the toy, causing it to roll down the inclined plane. As the marble rolls down inside of your tumble toy, it picks up speed, gaining momentum. As it reaches the end of the toy, it impacts the lower end with force. This force is great enough and has enough energy to lift the opposite end of the tumbling toy. This impact begins the rotation of the toy, causing the other end to rotate down the inclined plane, allowing the marble to again roll forward, repeating the process.